Let's face it, witnessing people fight each other provides a primal delight that we can't quite explain, particularly if they do it in style. This is one of the main factors contributing to the rise in popularity of mixed martial arts in recent years. It is also the reason why everybody enjoys a good martial arts film. Any martial art you can think of, including karate, kickboxing, kung fu, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, has likely had a practitioner who has displayed their abilities on the big screen in some action movie or the other. They also possess a talent for acting that has developed over years of practice, and thus they have contributed to some of the best martial arts films ever produced. In this video, we will be exploring the top 20 performers who have mastered martial arts while displaying a flair for the dramatic in the 70s, 80s and the 90s. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Bruce Lee. Starting with the iconic Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee grew up in British Hong Kong after being born in San Francisco. His father, Lee Hoi Chuen, was a well-known Cantonese opera singer who lived in Hong Kong. Having a parent who was in show business, Lee was given his first acting role in a Hong Kong movie by his father when he was just a little baby. Thanks to his father and the early introduction to films, Bruce Lee had already acted in 20 movies by the time he was 18. But these weren't martial arts movies. Instead of thinking about becoming an actor, he relocated to Seattle, Washington and started a martial arts school. He studied at the University of Washington as well. He eventually started another school and gained notoriety as a result of his outstanding martial arts abilities, which were always on display whenever he participated in competitions. Gaining some fame, he moved to Los Angeles to teach martial arts, and he taught some of film's most brilliant martial artists, such as Chuck Norris. His Hong Kong and Hollywood-produced movies brought Hong Kong martial arts movies to a whole new level of fame and acclaim in the 1970s, igniting a wave of Western interest in Chinese martial arts. His films' plot lines and tones have had a significant impact on martial arts and martial arts movies all over the world. He is remembered for his parts in 5 full-length Hong Kong martial arts movies from the early 1970s. Lo Wei's The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, Lee's The Way of the Dragon for Golden Harvest, which he also directed and wrote, and Robert Close's Enter the Dragon and The Game of Death, which were both produced by Golden Harvest and Warner Brothers. Due to his depictions of Chinese nationalism in his films and his defiance of Asian stereotypes, Lee became a legendary figure, well known throughout the world, but especially among Chinese people. He also gained fame among Asian Americans. Unfortunately, Bruce Lee passed away at the young age of 32 due to medical complications, and his death was ruled as death by misadventure. Obviously, due to his iconic status and the fact that he was at the peak of his career at the time of his death, there were various rumors and theories surrounding his death. However, we can unanimously agree upon that it was an abrupt ending to the life of a skilled artist. Chuck Norris. The birthplace of Chuck Norris was Ryan, Oklahoma. He assisted his mother in raising his 2 younger brothers as the oldest of 3 children in Torrance, California, where his family relocated when he was 12 years old. From the school's opening in September 1955 until his graduation in June 1958, Norris attended North Torrance High School. After finishing high school, Norris enlisted in the Air Force. He also started learning the Asian martial art of Tang Soo Do while living in Korea. As soon as he got back home, he started working for Northrop Aviation and teaching karate part-time. 2 years later, he had several martial arts schools under his management and was teaching full-time. Priscilla Presley, Steve McQueen and the Osmonds were among his notable pupils. Soon after, Norris taught martial arts to famous people in Hollywood. He had a cameo appearance in the spy movie The Wrecking Crew. Then, most famously, Bruce Lee, his buddy and fellow martial artist, asked him to portray one of the film's primary antagonists in The Way of the Dragon in the year 1972, and that shot him into stardom. Steve McQueen, a friend and fellow student, advised Norris to take it seriously while he still performed. In the successful action movie Breaker Breaker from 1977, Norris played the lead role. He then quickly rose to fame as an action movie star because of the success of his second main role in Good Guys Wear Black, which was released in 1978. Some of his most noteworthy appearances were in A Force of One, The Octagon, and An Eye for an Eye. Thus, Norris went on to star in a string of financially successful independent action and martial arts movies. Norris became a global superstar as a result. Later in the 80s, he worked on pictures for major studios like Lone Wolf Macade for Orion, Forced Vengeance for MGM, and Silent Rage for Columbia. As a result, Norris was given a multi-film deal by Cannon Films, beginning with the critically acclaimed and trilogy-starting Missing in Action, which was released in 1984. With Cannon, Norris began to focus almost entirely on high-profile action movies, rising to the position of the company's star during the 1980s. He has had an incredibly successful career. In Sylvester Stallone's The Expendables 2, Norris made his final on-screen appearance to date in the year 2012. Norris successfully combined his martial arts training into his television series and feature film ventures, emphasizing action and technique over aggression. He worked for a number of charitable organizations such as the Veterans Administration National Salute to Hospitalized Veterans, the Fund for Kids, the United Way, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Kickstart, a non-profit he founded to combat drug use and violence in schools. Norris branched out from his typical pursuits over the course of his film and television career and continues to do good work that is close to his heart even today. Jackie Chan. Coming to another incredible star, the famous and iconic Jackie Chan. Following his debut in Hong Kong's chaotic martial arts film industry, Jackie Chan, the funny, endearing and most well-known film star in the country, braved many years of lengthy, arduous work and numerous injuries to achieve international recognition. Charles and Li Chan welcomed Jackie into the world on April 7, 1954, on Hong Kong's renowned Victoria Peak. The Chan family moved to Canberra, Australia in the early 1960s. Because the young Jackie struggled in school, his father brought him back to Hong Kong so that he could enroll in the demanding China Drama Academy, one of the Peking opera schools. Chan achieved distinction in the arts of acrobatics, singing and martial arts before joining the group Seven Little Fortunes. He then frequently travelled back and forth to Canberra to see his parents and work, but he eventually returned to Hong Kong to make it his permanent place of residence. Chan started his acting career in the early 1970s and, interestingly, made brief cameos in 2 movies starring Bruce Lee, who was then an established celebrity in the martial arts genre. Fist of Fury in 1972 and the Warner Brothers blockbuster Enter the Dragon in 1973. Chan then began being frequently cast in movies shortly after Lee's tragic passing, capitalizing on Bruce Lee's success. Chan's film career promptly took off, and he quickly gained notoriety for his roles in a number of low-budget martial arts movies that Hong Kong companies rushed to produce in order to capitalize on the early 1970s boom in the genre. But with a smash blockbuster Drunken Master, which has grown to be a fan favorite among aficionados of martial arts movies, he made a significant breakthrough. Chan made his feature film debut shortly after with The Young Master in 1980. The following decade would witness some of Chan and his renowned stunt crew's best works. Chan and his team were unmatched in their ability to carry out the most amazing battle scenes and action sequences. His filmography includes Winners and Sinners, Project A, Wheels on Meals, and My Lucky Stars, among others. While he was incredibly famous in Asia, his fame in the USA was hard-earned. He made numerous movies in the US and not all of them were received well by audiences. He became a stateside success with a comedy movie, Rush Hour, and has never looked back since. Chan is undoubtedly one of the most unique actor, director, stuntman and producer combos in the global cinema industry. To realize his hopes and goals of being a global movie star, he has always done things the hard way. Off-screen, he has actively participated in numerous charitable projects that have given money to colleges and universities all around the world. He has spoken against animal mistreatment, pollution and disaster aid for the victims of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Jet Li. Jet Li is a Chinese actor-producer, former Wushu champion and martial artist. He is known as one of the most famous martial arts performers of his time, as well as one of the most recognizable Chinese film stars. Li earned his first national title for the Beijing Wushu team after spending 3 years practicing under the renowned Wushu master Wu Bin. He has been the men's all-around national Wushu champion 5 times between 1974 and 1979. Li, who gave up professional Wushu at the end of 18, later achieved enormous success in China as an actor, making his screen debut in the 1982 movie Shaolin Temple, which, interestingly, started the Kung Fu boom in China. His work in Chinese cinema is recognized for revitalizing the Shaolin Temple and Wushu in the 1990s via his Hong Kong martial arts flicks. He went on to play the protagonist in several highly praised martial arts epic movies, most notably Fist of Legend in 1994, and the first 3 installments of the Once Upon a Time in China series from 1991 to 1993, where he played folk hero Wong Fei Hung. In Lethal Weapon 4 in 1998, Li played a villain for the first time in a non-Chinese movie, and in Romeo Must Die he played the lead character Han Sing. He later went on to star in other foreign action movies, notably Kiss of the Dragon and Unleashed in French cinema, both of which were made by Luc Besson. He appeared alongside Jason Statham in The One and War, Jackie Chan in The Forbidden Kingdom, Sylvester Stallone in all 3 The Expendables movies, and he played the title villain in The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. All of these movies were released in the 2000s. Most recently, he was cast as the Emperor of China in the live-action version of Mulan in 2020. However, he is not truly a star of the 70s, 80s and 90s since much of his acting work spills over into the 2000s. Despite that, he was sufficiently famous in the 90s and is currently regarded as one of the best martial arts performers in movies, landing him the 4th spot on our list. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Belgian city of Brussels was where Van Damme was born. At the age of 11, the muscles from Brussels began martial arts training. When he noticed that his son was physically frail, his father introduced him to martial arts. At the National Center of Karate in Ixelles, Belgium, under the direction of Master Claude Goetz, Van Damme started his martial arts instruction when he was 12 years old. After 4 years of training, Van Damme qualified for the Belgium karate team. He was a youngster when he took home the middleweight title in the European Professional Karate Association. He had set out to become the best, but after leaving his native Brussels, his plans changed. 16-year-old Jean-Claude began competing in martial arts in 1976. In 1982, Jean-Claude gave up practicing martial arts and announced his retirement. At the age of 19, he made his first trip to Hong Kong and felt confident enough to work on action films there. However, he had a tough climb ahead of him. Van Damme relocated to Los Angeles in 1981 and Chuck Norris helped him land a job as a club bouncer. Van Damme then had a brief role given by Norris in the 1984 film Missing in Action, but it wasn't noteworthy enough to draw attention. Then, in 1984, he was cast as Ivan, a villain in the low-budget film No Retreat, No Surrender. His big break came out of the blue. One day, while out and about, Jean-Claude bumped into a Canon Pictures producer. He displayed some of his martial arts skills to him and, as a result, was given a part in Bloodsport. However, the Hong Kong short film was so awful when it was finished that it was put on hold for almost 2 years. If Van Damme had not assisted them in recutting the movie and pleaded with the producers to release it, it might never have seen the light of day. The movie was finally released first in Malaysia and France and subsequently in the United States. In the spring of 1988, it became a big smash hit at the box office in the US. The picture received favour from viewers for its new sensational action hero Jean-Claude Van Damme, earning roughly $30 million worldwide. His skill in martial arts, demonstrated by his ability to kick an opponent in the head while leaping 360 degrees, and his appealing looks earned him leading roles in movies with larger budgets, including Cyborg in 1989, Lionheart in 1990, Double Impact in 1991, and Universal Soldier in 1992. He achieved major success in 1994 with a 100 million global smash, Time Cop. He is thus one of the best martial arts performers in all of film history, and despite certain struggles in his personal life, he has grown as an actor and an artist and continues to be revered today. Jim Kelly. Kelly was born in 1946. It was at Bourbon County High School in Paris, Kentucky, where he participated in basketball, football and track and field, that Kelly started his athletic career. He received a football scholarship to attend the University of Louisville, but left after his first year to start learning Shorin-ryu karate. In Lexington, Kentucky, Kelly studied martial arts under the instruction of Sin Hwang Tae. Parker Shelton, Nate Patton and Gordon Doversola oversaw his Okinawan karate training. Early in the 1970s, Kelly rose to become one of the sport's most illustrious world karate champions. He fought 4 significant championships in 1971, including the world middleweight karate title in the 1971 Long Beach International Karate Championships, which stands out as the most notable. Kelly established his own dojo, which was attended regularly by a number of Hollywood celebrities and eventually led to his appearance in films. Jim Kelly, one of the top martial arts movie stars of the early 1970s, was easily recognizable thanks to his quirky afro haircut, incredibly cool demeanor and exceptional karate skills. In fact, he was the first black martial arts film star. In Enter the Dragon, Kelly made a second appearance after playing a minor part as one of the invited guests to the hazardous Hans Island. In 1973, Kelly soon appeared in a number of other movies with a martial arts theme, such as 3 The Hard Way, Golden Needles and Black Belt Jones, all of which were released in 1974. Later he made more appearances in a number of additional action movies from the late 70s, but since 1980 Kelly only made a couple of cameo appearances. In various interviews, he chalked his absence from film to not liking the parts he was being offered. Unfortunately, Kelly passed away from cancer on June 29, 2013 in his San Diego, California residence. He was 67 when he passed away. Jim Kelly, a gifted athlete who achieved ranked success in both tennis and karate, was a key figure in the 1970s surge of films featuring African Americans and martial arts. Toshiro Mifune. More than any other Japanese actor of the 20th century, Toshiro Mifune became famous throughout the world. He was raised in Dalian and was born to Japanese parents in Tsingtao, China. He arrived in Japan for the first time when he was 21. After his graduation from Dalian Middle School, young Toshiro worked briefly at his father's studio. His father was both an importer and a commercial photographer. He enlisted in the Air Force and was assigned to the Aerial Photography Unit for the duration of World War II after being automatically inducted into the Japanese Army at the age of 20. He took an examination for Kajiro Yamamoto in 1947 and was recommended by him to the director Senkichi Taniguchi that he be cast in the movie These Foolish Times 2. After Mifune connected with filmmaker Akira Kurosawa, the two went on to form the most well-known actor-director team of all of Japanese cinema. Mifune had appearances in 16 Kurosawa films, starting with Drunken Angel in 1948. A majority of his films with Kurosawa has gone on to become masterpieces. Mifune would go on to become the most well-known Japanese actor in the world thanks to his roles in Kurosawa's films, particularly Rashomon, which was released in 1950. He was a fierce and energetic actor who was excellent in action roles but also had the depth to go into nuanced and subtle tragic roles. Mifune continued to play the leading roles in important films made both in Japan and abroad. For his roles in Yojimbo in 1961 and Redbeard in 1965, he received the Best Actor award twice at the Venice Film Festival. Later, his major role in the American TV miniseries Shogun catapulted him to newfound popularity in his senior years. Thereafter, he made only occasional cameo appearances. His final years were complicated due to Alzheimer's disease, and he sadly passed away in 1997 from organ failure. Gordon Liu. Prior to being adopted by another family, Liu was born Sing Kam Hei on August 22, 1951 in the Chinese province of Guangdong. He used to sneak out of school to learn Chinese martial arts without telling his parents, and he received his training at the Hungar Martial Arts Academy run by Lao Cham, who later became his godfather. He worked as a shipping clerk to make ends meet as he got older. However, his interests had always been in martial arts, and Lau Kar Leung eventually offered him a part. He soon became Lau Kar Leung's protege. Liu's initial break came with Chang's film company, where he had small parts in movies including 4 Assassins, Shaolin Martial Arts, and 5 Shaolin Masters. Prior to playing his iconic role as Shaolin hero Sanny Te in the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, he appeared in Executioners from Shaolin in 1977 and Challenge of the Masters in 1976 as the folk hero Wong Fei Hung. Even if the story of the imperialist conflict was not new, it was relevant because of the close attention paid to the inner workings of the Shaolin Temple. The Zero to Hero story made Liu a global figure and opened the door for an intense work schedule that lasted well into the mid-1980s, despite the inevitable emergence of younger, sharper martial artists. He started taking on smaller roles during the late 1980s, like Tiger on the Beats by Lau Kar Leung. As a martial arts instructor, Liu has also had a successful career on television. For many years, he was under contract with a TVB company in Hong Kong. Liu was in fact a long-time favourite of Quentin Tarantino, who planned to cast him in one of his films. The character of Johnny Mo and Master Pei-Mei in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill movies eventually brought this collaboration about. Since his performance in Kill Bill increased his fame and piqued Chinese producers' interests once more, Liu turned back to acting in motion pictures while continuing to work in television for Hong Kong's TVB station. However, he suffered from a stroke in 2012 and has since slowed down his acting and martial arts career considerably. Nonetheless, his stint in Bollywood is worth a mention. He appeared in a major Bollywood film, Chandni Chowk to China, which further cemented his global icon status. Bolo Yeung. Bolo Yeung was born in China in the year 1946. When he was only 10 years old, he started learning martial arts. He developed a fascination with bodybuilding as a child, and he later earned the nickname Chinese Hercules after winning the Mr. Hong Kong bodybuilding contest. It was an incredible feat of human perseverance. For 10 years, he was the championship title holder. He was cast in various bad guy roles in movies because of his incredibly muscular build, but his big break came when he appeared opposite to the great Bruce Lee in the 1973 film Enter the Dragon as the character Bolo. Yeung and Bruce Lee actually became friends while working together on a Winston cigarette commercial, and Lee invited him to star in Enter the Dragon after they became friends. During the production of Enter the Dragon, when Lee and Yeung collaborated closely on technique training, the two grew close and Yeung continued to hold Lee in high regard. Yeung appeared in many martial arts movies during the 1970s and 1980s, but Bloodsport was his breakthrough movie. In the spring of 1988, it became a big box office success. Yeung portrayed the part of Chong Li and Jean-Claude Van Damme played the title role of Frank Dux. On the set of Bloodsport, the two actors grew close and Van Damme encouraged Yeung to star in his second movie, Double Impact. Jahal Merhi, a Canadian action movie actor, director and producer, first met Yeung while filming his debut movie Fearless Tiger in Hong Kong. They later reconnected while working on Double Impact. Yeung's charm and talent pleased Merhi, who chose to write a part especially for him. Later, Merhi and Yeung collaborated on other movies together, including Tiger Claws, TC 2000 and Tiger Claws 2. Although his acting career is not as impressive as others on our list, like Jackie Chan and Jet Li, he is a respected martial artist and loved actor. Bolo is still in excellent shape today and trains frequently at his neighborhood gym. Bodybuilding and martial arts are essential to his life and work. Stephen Chow. On June 22, 1962, Stephen Chow was born in Hong Kong. He was raised mainly by his mother, and he grew up as a Bruce Lee superfan and martial arts fanatic, as he was the only boy in his family. His career began on television, where he hosted the kids program 4:30 Space Shuttle in 1983 and quickly rose to fame. After that, he received various supporting roles, and in 1988, for his work in the movie Final Justice, he was honored with Taiwan's Golden Horse Award for Best Supporting Actor. Further, Chow's performance in The Final Combat in 1989 catapulted him to fame. Thanks to his acting and skills, he appeared in more than 40 movies during the following 10 years. His 1991 picture, Fight Back to School, became the highest-grossing movie ever made in Hong Kong. He started directing movies in 1994 with the release of From Beijing with Love. Stephen Chow's rise to fame in mainland China in the second part of the 1990s gave rise to the Stephen Chow phenomenon. To have this immense cultural influence is a major deal. He has continued to act in the 2000s, and his films like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle have brought him even more fame. Currently, Chow's focus is more on directing. Most recently, his movie The Mermaid set multiple box office records in 2016 and surpassed all previous records in China. On February 10, 2016, The Mermaid was released in Vietnam. It reached the third highest lifetime box office total in Vietnam on March 14th. Chow also rose to the position of 9th highest earning Hollywood director in 2016, so he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. In addition to this, you can also follow Chow on Instagram. There are rumors that he's planning to partner with Netflix and even bring his characters to the metaverse, so keep an eye out because it seems like more good things are to come from Stephen Chow. Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung is a well-known martial artist, actor, producer and director from Hong Kong. He is also well known for his work in Hong Kong action movies and martial arts movies, as well as for choreographing fight scenes for other actors like Jackie Chan. Hung is one of the key individuals responsible for the 1980s Hong Kong New Wave movement, the reimagining of the martial arts subgenre, and the creation of the vampire-like Jiangxi subgenre. Many of his contemporaries credit him with helping them to get their start in the Hong Kong film industry by placing them in his films or providing them jobs on the production crew. His parents, who were both wardrobe designers for the regional film business when he was born in Hong Kong, gave his grandparents custody. In 1961, Hung enrolled in the China Drama Academy, a Hong Kong-based Peking opera school. At the age of 9, he started his 7-year enrollment. Early in the 1960s, Hung played the role of a young actor in a number of films for Cathay Asia and Bobo Films. His acting career began in 1961's Education of Love. He initially appeared in a movie in 1962 with Jackie Chan in Big and Little Wong Tin Bar. He then had a part in The Birth of Yeoh. Hung was later chosen to conduct stunts on a movie at the age of 14 by a teacher who had ties to the Hong Kong film industry. His interest in film was thus aroused by this brief journey into the profession, and he developed a keen interest in how film cameras worked. He worked with action director Han Yingji at the time of King Hu's movie Come Drink With Me. Hung worked on more than 30 wuxia movies for Shaw Brothers between 1966 and 1974, moving up through the ranks from extra to stuntman to stunt coordinator to finally action director. Hung started working for Raymond Chow and the Golden Harvest production firm in 1970. He was first employed to choreograph the action sequences for The Angry River. His following quickly grew, and as a result of the caliber of his choreography and his methodical approach to his work, he once more grabbed the attention of renowned Taiwanese filmmaker King Hu, whose The Fate of Lee Khan was choreographed by Hung in 1973. He appeared in the Bruce Lee classic Enter the Dragon in 1973 as well. Despite his martial arts and acting caliber, Hung is most widely celebrated as a director, producer and action director, having produced and directed many successful action films, especially in the 80s and 90s. His career is vast and illustrious. Having begun as a child actor while still a student at the China Drama Academy, Hung has worked on more than 230 films and starred in 75 of them. He began his career as an extra and stuntman after graduating from the opera school and went on to work in a variety of various capacities such as fight choreographer, stunt coordinator, action director, actor, writer, producer and director. Hung most recently appeared in God of War, a 2017 historical action movie, and continues to be alive and kicking. Dragon Lee. Actor Dragon Lee is best known for practicing Taekwondo and Hapkido and, well, looking eerily similar to martial art legend Bruce Lee. Dragon Lee was born in what is now North Korea as per his IMDb bio. In the 1970s and 80s, he established himself as a martial arts movie star. Interestingly, while Moon Yoon Seok is his birth name, he is also referred to by the nickname Keo Ryong, which in South Korea literally translates to giant dragon. Further, Tim Kai-cheung, the man who acted alongside Lee in the climactic scenes of Game of Death, taught Lee Taekwondo. During this time in his life, Bruce Lee's co-star in Way of the Dragon, Hwang In-shik, introduced Lee to the Korean martial art of Hapkido. He realized his resemblance to Bruce Lee when a patron at a theatre informed Dragon Lee that he reminded him of the martial arts legend. Given how well known Bruce Lee was at that time, that was a significant compliment. Additionally, Bruce Lee's status and connections assisted Dragon Lee in advancing his career by knowing Hong Kong film directors. Early in his 20s, Dragon Lee relocated to Hong Kong and appeared in a number of martial arts movies. Because of his strong similarity to Bruce Lee, he was frequently given the name Bruce Lai. The 1977 release of the semi-documentary The Real Bruce Lee is one of Dragon Lee's several filmography credits. He often played roles that would have been likely played by Bruce Lee once the icon passed away. Eventually, Dragon Lee, actor and producer for television, relocated back to Seoul. He has become, since, the chairman of a group of actors in South Korea and lives a low-profile life away from the media. Michelle Yeoh. In a world, or rather a genre full of men, we have the iconic Michelle Yeoh. Actress Michelle Yeoh is from Malaysia. Yeoh, a 1962-born dancing enthusiast, she started learning ballet at the age of 4. She went to the UK with her parents when she was 15 years old, enrolling in the Hammond School, Chester, where she began her ballet training. Yeoh later majored in ballet while attending the Royal Academy of Dance in London. She later turned to choreography and other forms of art instead of becoming a professional ballet dancer because of a spinal injury. Yeoh, then 20 years old, was the 1983 Miss Malaysia World winner and enjoyed a fruitful career in pageantry. Her first ever performance was in a Jackie Chan starrer Guy Laroche Watches television commercial. That was where her acting career truly kicked off. She moved to Hong Kong, learned Cantonese and began acting. Credited as Michelle Khan in her early films in Hong Kong, she rose to fame in the 1990s after starring in a series of Hong Kong action films where she performed her own stunts, such as Yes Madam in 1985, Magnificent Warriors in 1987, Police Story 3, Super Cop in 1992, The Heroic Trio in 1993, and Holy Weapon in 1993. When she began her Hollywood career in 1997 with the film Tomorrow Never Dies, she returned to Michelle Yeoh as her stage name. She also notably played Wai Lin in the 1997 James Bond movie opposite actor Pierce Brosnan, who regarded her as the female James Bond. She portrayed Sung Ai Ling in the acclaimed film The Sung Sisters from 1997. Then, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon director Ang Lee approached Yeoh about playing Yu Shu Lien in his first Mandarin language martial arts movie. Yeoh received a BAFTA 2000 nomination for Best Actress in a Leading Role thanks to the film's success on a global scale. The film that Yeoh is best known for, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, is still regarded as a classic. Additionally, she was honored with the 2013 Asian International Film Festival's Lifetime Achievement Award. Voted the best action heroine in 2008 according to review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, Michelle Yeoh is a force to be reckoned with. Michelle's legendary resume is ample evidence that her career has been filled with blockbusters. Yeoh is a celebrity in every sense of the word thanks to performances in highly acclaimed classics like Crazy Rich Asians and Memories of a Geisha, as well as collaborations with Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Interestingly, Michelle Yeoh has not received any official martial arts instruction, and it is reasonable to wonder how someone with no formal training in Kung Fu can be so outstanding. The dancer, though, was adaptable enough to play martial arts roles. She trained in a gym with seasoned action performers like Dick Wei and picked up the moves on the set, leading to her performing her own stunts on various occasions. The actress also made history in 2023 when she won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role, becoming the first Asian woman to do so. Her outstanding performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once earned her the victory. Yeoh was the first Asian actress to be nominated in the Best Actress category thanks to her nomination. So her career is very much alive and kicking. Phillip Rhee. Rhee grew up in San Francisco, California after being born in South Korea in 1960. He is a martial artist who has worked as an actor, director, producer and creator of movies, notably the Best of the Best series. 3 follow-up movies, Best of the Best 2, Best of the Best 3, No Turning Back and Best of the Best 4, Without Warning, were produced from the initial Best of the Best movie. It is interesting to note that Rhee's screenplay for the movie Best of the Best was inspired by his 1980 participation as a member of the United States Taekwondo squad competing against the South Korean squad in the Asian Games finals. Along with Rocky, Best of the Best was included in Fandango's 2015 list of the top 15 motivational sports films. So even though his career was not as vast as many others on this list, his films have had a lasting cultural impact. In 2010, Rhee founded Stereo Pictures, a 3D conversion technology company with offices in LA and Korea that served big Hollywood studios and consumer electronic behemoths like Samsung, LG and game makers Blizzard. Jim Miller, a former president of Warner Brothers, was a partner in the venture. Rhee, a devoted martial artist, is currently one of the most sought-after instructors in the world and holds black belts in Kendo, Hapkido and Taekwondo at the 3rd and 7th degrees respectively. Ronald Reagan, the chairman of Warner Chappell, the previous chairman of Fox, the chairman of ACI, as well as various athletes and movie stars have been among his former students. Rhee is trilingual and currently resides with his wife Amy, a fashion designer, and son Sean. Tony Jaa. Takchakon Yeoh is a Thai martial artist, actor, action choreographer, stuntman, director and trustee. He is also known globally as Tony Jaa and in Thailand as Jaa Phantom. Ong Bak, Muay Thai warrior, released in 2003. Tom Yung Goong, released in 2005. Ong Bak 2, The Beginning, released in 2008, and Furious 7, released in 2015, are all notable films that he has acted in. While all these films premiered in the 2000s, the reason he is on this list is that his career started in the 90s. On February 5, 1976, Yapanom Yeoh was born in Thailand's Surin province in the country's northeast. His parents were herders of elephants. As a young child, Jaa studied martial arts movies and started to imitate some of his heroes, including Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Having fallen in love with martial arts at the local temple school, Jaa studied martial arts. Later, on a scholarship, he continued his studies at the Physical Education College in Khon Kaen, Thailand, where he focused on various martial arts forms including Muay Boran, Muay Thai, Wushu, Judo and Taekwondo. Jaa then performed some stunts in the movie Panna Riti Cry, which helped him obtain work as a double for Robin Chu and James Remar in the 1997 film Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Jaa is now focusing more of his efforts on reaching viewers abroad thanks to his leading roles in many international movies being shot in and post 2014. Kara Wai. Kara Wai, also known as Kara Hui, was once known as a martial arts goddess of the 1980s. Kara Wai, a Hong Kong actress, is most known outside of Asia for her parts in Shaw Brothers Studios' Wuxia movies from the 1970s and 1980s. However, she is an amazing actress, martial artist and action heroine who has come from literally nothing. Kara Hui Ying-Hyung was born in Shandong, China. After moving to Hong Kong with her family in 1966, she stopped attending school and began working in nightclubs at the age of 14. Hui, her mother, and her siblings lived in the impoverished shanty settlement of Rennie's Mill and were forced to hawk products on the streets of Hong Kong since their family had lost the savings they had received from her father's business associates. Chia Liang Liu, the director of the 1976 film Challenge of the Masters, cast Hui after chancing upon her accidentally. This kicked off her acting career. She soon made her acting debut in a number of Liu Chia Liang directed movies. movies. In February 1975, she secured a contract with Shaw Brothers Studios, working on more than 40 action films. She received critical acclaim for her performance as Jing Dai Nan in the enduring classic My Young Auntie in 1981, earning her the first Best Actress award at the first Hong Kong Film Awards in 1982. Kara's transition into increasingly passionate roles after Shaw Studios closed in 1985 was very seamless, and she has since done so with great success. She won awards from the Hong Kong Film Awards, Hong Kong Film Critics Society Awards, Pacific Meridian, Changchun Film Festival, Golden Horse Awards and Asian Film Awards. Most of these were for her portrayal of a mother in the 2009 movie At the End of Daybreak. She also won Best Supporting Actress in the 33rd Hong Kong Film Awards in 2014 for her performance as Yung Feng in Rigor Mortis. A legend, Kara Hui has been in more than 138 movies and continues to work in the Hong Kong film business today. Coming from absolutely nothing, Kara Hui has built something that is nothing short of an empire. It is not a joke that she was literally referred to as the martial arts goddess. In case you want to check out her recent works, Marvelous Woman, a drama series that has been streaming since 2021, is worth a watch. Chow Yun-Fat. Chow was born in 1955 on the peaceful island of Lamma, which was a part of Hong Kong at the time and was close to the city's well-known Victoria Harbour. His mother worked as a cleaner and a vegetable grower, and his father drove a tanker for the Shell Oil Company. In early 1973, Chow attended a casting call for TVB, a part of Shaw Brothers Productions, after his family had relocated to metropolitan Hong Kong in 1965 and kick-started his acting career. Chow was once a heartthrob actor in undemanding TV and film parts because of his good looks and laid-back manner. His portrayal of the white-suited criminal Hui Man Keung in the wildly successful drama TV series Shanghai Beach, however, helped him become more well-known, especially as an action hero. For his performance in Hong Kong 1941, Chow won the Asian Pacific Film Festival's Best Actor Award and Taiwan's Golden Horse Best Actor Award in 1985, which marked the beginning of his career as a celebrated actor. With these achievements, Chow caught Wu's eye, and in 1986 he hired Chow for the action-packed gangster movie A Better Tomorrow. As they say, the rest is history. The movie was a huge financial hit, and Chow's appeal to young Asian men was comparable to that of earlier Asian movie superstars like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. Subsequently, fans from all over the world came to see A Better Tomorrow 2, The Killer and Hard Boiled, as a result of Chow's continued hard-edged roles in future John Woo crime movies. Roles in The Replacement Killers in 1998 with Mida Sorvino, The Corruptor in 1999 with Mark Wahlberg, and for a change of pace, the frequently filmed romance drama Anna and the King in 1999 all attracted Chow to the United States because of the spectacular global interest in the Hong Kong action genre. After that, Chow made a comeback to Asian film and starred in the acclaimed kung fu epic Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. His boy-next-door attitude and his capacity to play such a wide range of characters, from a humorous idiot to a love-struck Romeo to a trigger-happy professional murderer, demonstrate the breadth of his appeal. Chow, a talented and incredibly entertaining actor with a magnetic on-screen presence, is still in high demand throughout various film markets. Cheng Pei-Pei. Cheng Pei-Pei, popularly known as the Queen of Swords, is considered to be cinema's first female action hero. She was born on 6th January 1964 in Shanghai, China. She started her career as an actress when she moved to Hong Kong in 1962. She began by training at the Shaw Brothers studio. Her knowledge of dance and Mandarin helped her rise quickly in the industry, and within 2 years she debuted. She debuted as Liu Qzi in the 1964 Taiwanese drama film Lovers Rock. Cheng's most well-known role is as the lead in King Hu's Come Drink With Me, which was released in 1996. The movie was a Ming Dynasty drama where Cheng played Golden Swallow, talented swordswoman on a quest to save her brother. Throughout the 1960s, Chen kept playing the role of a skilled swordswoman in the role of movies after that. She moved to Southern California in the 1970s to raise her children and took a small hiatus. However, she returned with a bang in 2000 with her portrayal of Jade Fox in the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She went on to play the role of Long Po in the miniseries Watery Moon, Hollow Sky in 2004. She has acted in 114 movies to date and has been a consistent actress, dropping hits from the 60s up until now. She was most recently seen in Mulan in the year 2020. Sonny Chiba, born on 22nd January 1939 in Fukuoka, Japan as Sadaho Maeda, was a Japanese actor and martial artist. His father was a pilot for the Imperial Japanese Army Air Service, and his mother used to be a track and field athlete in her youth. As a child, he participated in a range of sports while he was in high school, like baseball and volleyball. In his third year in high school, he took part in the National Sports Festival of Japan while simultaneously practicing gymnastics. He went to Nippon Sports Science University and was a serious candidate for Japan's Olympic team for gymnastics. However, this path was sidelined for him in his late teens due to a back injury. He started studying martial arts while in college and became a black belt in Kyokushin Karate in 1965 and obtained his fourth degree in 1984. Chiba began his acting career in the 1960s by appearing in two tokusatsu superhero series. In his debut role, he took over Susumu Wajima's position as the series lead Star Ran, or Seven Color Mask, in the second half of Seven Color Mask. He starred in the science fiction movie Invasion of the Neptune Men from 1961, as well as the first Kinji Fukasaku movie Drifting Detective, Tragedy in Red Valley, which was the first of many projects the two would work on together. Throughout the next 10 years, he was largely cast in criminal thrillers. With the purpose of raising the caliber of martial arts techniques and sequences used in Japanese cinema and television, Chiba established his own training facility for aspiring martial arts film actors and stunt artists in 1970. Known as JAC, or the Japan Action Club. Japan Action Enterprise is the name of the organization now. His debut martial arts film, Karate Kiba, was released in 1973 and he played the key role. The Street Fighter, dubbed in English for Western audiences by New Line Cinema, was Chiba's first big worldwide hit. He thus became the dominant Japanese martial arts actor in Western cinema for the following 20 years, thanks to the movie and its sequels. Unfortunately, we lost this great actor to the COVID-19 pandemic on 19th August 2021 at 82 years of age. Build Superfoot Wallace. William Lewis Wallace is an American martial artist, actor, and professional kickboxer. He was born on 1st December 1945 in Portland, Indiana. Wallace attended Ball State University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in physical education in 1971. He graduated with a master's in kinesiology from Memphis State University in 1976. Subsequently, he started studying judo in 1966, but due to a right knee injury he sustained while practicing, he was unfortunately compelled to stop all judo-related activities. In February 1967, while still a member of the US Air Force, he started training in Shrin-Ryu Karate under Michael Gneck. He first competed in point fighting tournaments where he was successful before moving on to full contact matches. Wallace left a path of broken and bruised bodies down the martial arts combat trail. Wallace was known in the karate community simply as Superfoot, a reference to his amazing left leg, which was once recorded at over 60 miles per hour. He mimicked other fighters' hand movements with 2 or 3 quick false kicks before using a powerful knockout method to finish them out. His strength and accuracy were remarkable. He competed against legends like Skipper Mullins, Joe Louis, Chuck Norris, and Bruce Lee. Wallace made his professional kickboxing debut in 1972 following a remarkable career in point fighting. While mainly a competitive fighter, Wallace had made many cinematic appearances at Chuck Norris's insistence, most notably in A Force of One, Sword of Heaven, Silent Assassins, etc. Wallace still conducts trainings and gives presentations all over the world. The action movie genre, especially martial arts related action, really took off thanks to the contributions of all the people mentioned in this list. Martial arts action movies were abundant in the 60s, 70s and 80s and continue to serve as a major source of entertainment not just for Asian audiences but also worldwide. Actors like Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan have successfully brought the various types of martial arts that we know and love to the West and Western cinema, making a name for themselves and their craft. Who from this list is your favorite? Tell us in the comments section below.